Everyone keeps asking if blogging is dead in 2026. Well, we lost over 50% of all blogs' traffic after the Google updates. And you know what happened next? All blogs still grew. So today, we are sharing the brutal truth about what's actually working right now and why 2026 might be the best year for bloggers yet, if you're willing to pivot.
Hey everyone, we're the Branding Fix, two solo bloggers turned co-workers, and we're documenting how we're rebuilding our blogs in the age of AI. So welcome to co-working. Let's clock in, get in your comfy chair, and let's get to work, because blogging and content creation is our business. Today we're giving you an update on our blogging journey. We're going to be talking about our traffic loss and the traffic rebound, and why we believe that blogging is set to thrive even more in 2026. But that's only if you stop crying over spilt milk and you put in the work.
So let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, we got hammered by the Google updates in 2023, the tweaks that happened in 2024, and yes, there were updates in 2025. And look, hammered is putting it lightly. The first update, I lost over 50% of my traffic, and with the little, I call it Google Lite update, this past summer, 2025, I had a traffic dip as well. And if you're watching thinking blogging is dead because this exact same thing happened to you, or you're thinking about blogging and you hear everyone complaining about traffic loss, trust me, I get it. It is very much a real thing. But here's where the story gets interesting. Despite losing more than half of our traffic and just going through the roller coaster of the updates over the past 2 years, our blogs still grew. Right now, I'm experiencing a bounce after a major website reorganization. And what's even more crazy is that my revenue actually grew. So fun fact, I am now earning 30% more income, even though my traffic has been cut in half. And again, that might not make sense on the surface, but we have the numbers to prove it. Because the traffic that is most valuable now is direct traffic. And that is something we have been prioritizing this year, and we are super excited to double down in 2026. So the question isn't, is blogging dead? The question is, are you measuring the right metrics?
And here's the thing, everybody's been talking about blogging being dead because nobody wants to change what they are doing. And just as much as direct traffic is giving you a higher RPM, that is fact, you can still also get a lot of traffic through Google. You just have to do your work differently. Blogging is a completely different beast right now, and that is because a lot of the Google updates are prioritizing different things. So the way you were blogging before, even if you were an experienced blogger and super great at SEO, that is not working. So if you're not willing to change how you're blogging and you just want to do everything the old way, then yes, blogging is dead for you. But we are here to talk about the changes we implemented and how those are actually seeing great results, even with Google traffic. So if you don't want blogging to be dead, you have to rethink how you approach creating content for your blog and how you also show up as a brand on all facets of social media as well. Google traffic is still there. Google Discover is still there. All of these things are still there. And in fact, they are surfacing things in much better ways than before. So I know that a lot of people think that the AI overviews are there to hurt you and they're working against you, but you actually need to create the right content and you will excel and show up and even achieve some of that traffic as well.
I think the thing that bothers me the most, especially when you look online and in blogger groups and threads just everywhere, is that my traffic dropped, so blogging is dead, or I lost 90% of my income, so it's not working anymore. I think that is a bit crazy to say. It's like saying, well, one method doesn't work anymore, so we're not going to try anything else and we're just going to throw in the towel. I actually think that's not how business works. When you reach a roadblock or something that you have been doing since 2011, maybe 2019, 2015, whenever you started, just because that one way isn't working now, it shouldn't mean you should give up. It just means you need to find another way. And I am seeing so many different pathways to still making that blogging money, just not the old school SEO way. Because Google decided to change the rules. So now we have to adapt our playbook. So you can't be writing 3,000, 5,000 scroll killing pages, which yes, back in the day used to make you money. Now you really need to prioritize search intent. So every time I look at an old blog post of mine, I'm asking a question. Is this answering their question? Will this get them what they're looking for fast? And if not, I need to rework it. Sometimes one blog post that I used to have that worked in 2020, now I'm splitting that up into 5 different posts. So yes, the rules have changed, and so we have to adapt our playbook. And if you look around, the bloggers that are thriving are the ones who are diversifying their traffic. So again, they're using methods now that they never had to 3, 5, 10 years ago, but they are adapting and they're doing well. So that's what we're doing. And That's why blogging for us is not dead. It's very much alive.
And lastly, and I think really important, is the fact that I think right now you need to be really focused on building your brand as opposed to just having generic blogs with information a lot of times about topics that the person didn't really know a lot about. It was really popular to just hire out writers and just have blog posts written for you just because everything was perfectly right for SEO. And that was working. But you as the blogger didn't really know much about the topic. You were just subbing that out and hiring that off. That will not work. You need to create your brand. You need to be talking about topics that you're passionate about. You need to be multi-passionate, and you got to share yourself online. And that is basically a lot of what has worked in what we've been changing on how we are blogging. And it's actually going back to basics for us, because Victoria and I have been blogging for a long time and we've gone through different changes, but actually this way of blogging and being more personal and really building brand, building community and connecting with the people that are following you is what we used to do before SEO became a thing in our brain. And that is basically where you need to pivot. So if you've been writing blog posts that are very generic and everything just mechanical, or even hiring that out to someone else to write for you and you were just posting it and getting that traffic, then you need to rethink completely your strategy. And now, speaking specifically about strategy, the first thing that we've been doing is diversifying. So for a long time, our traffic was dependent on Google, and we kind of forgot about social media. You know, we were the types of bloggers that thought that actually we can forget about the algorithm and about social media, and we can just have fun with our blog and everything is going to come from Google because the SEO is right. So we've been diversifying that again, paying more attention to our communities on social, on YouTube, on our newsletters, and just really building all of those different facets that help us to build the right brand, but also give us traffic from different sources, which, like Victoria said, will give you a higher RPM than Google traffic because it is a more targeted and interested person. You are bringing them to your site. So you are getting more money for that visit than the regular Google traffic.
It is so funny when I think back to social media because I really think that was just fun, but then it got stressful. And because I wanted nothing to do with the algorithm, in 2019, I started my email newsletter. Now, I wasn't thinking that this could be a main traffic driver for my website because honestly, I just wanted to talk to people without having to deal with the social media algorithm. But now looking back, that was the best thing I've ever done because now I have a built-in audience on my list who I can send links from my blog to say, hey, I posted this new thing. You know, you can get this list here. You can read my thoughts here. You can get my opinion on this, especially those hot takes. And you can read that all on my blog. And I have been seeing higher RPMs from that because it's direct from my newsletter. I'm sending these readers there. And now it almost feels like Google traffic is just a bonus. So definitely 2026, I am doubling down on my email list. I'm being more careful and intentional about it. And we are prioritizing connecting with readers and building community there.
Another thing that is still really worthwhile is affiliate marketing. And I know what you're thinking. It's not making a lot of money, but actually it's all about how you do it now. You cannot just post affiliate links on your blog and you think that that's the end all be all. You need to be now really intentional and share the things that you are promoting in a way that still feels natural and not pushy and not salesy. So we are being very intentional with our approach to that, sprinkling in some of that throughout our socials, throughout our emails, throughout all of our content, and really thinking about those higher quality partnerships or promoting the products that really give something to our community. So our approach is always community first. What do they need and how can we serve them? And then comes the affiliate income. And I think if anyone has that approach right now, they're still going to make a lot of money with affiliate marketing.
Another thing we're doing differently is prioritizing content quality over quantity. Listen, I was one of those girlies keyword chasing out here on these internet streets. If it didn't have volume, I was not doing it. And it was just always heavy on keyword chasing, what can bring me traffic, and just packing it with every single thing that I know. So even though it might not always flow necessarily well, and with hindsight, people would have to dig to find the answer, now it's all about quality for me. So if it's not serving the reader, if it doesn't have user intent first and foremost, I'm not doing it. I'm also prioritizing my real life lived experiences and ensuring that I can infuse that in every piece of content. If it's just generic and dry, I'm not posting it. So everything has to have a bit of me in it. If I'm not able to share my experience, if I don't have firsthand experience, I'm not talking about it, because at the end of the day, this will be a great signal to readers, the algorithm, and just Google and every platform in general that, hey, this person knows what they're talking about and this is something they have firsthand experience with.
And lastly, the biggest thing we're doing is community building and relationships with our community. And I think that goes for brand building as well. People need to really connect with you. They need to know what you're about. And a lot of times that will also mean that you're sharing things about yourself with them. That may not necessarily be about the niche that you're talking about. You're really letting them in on who you are and they are connecting with you there. And just be in there in the comments, serve them, and build community with them there in a way that they feel like they have access to you. They know what you're about. I think that is so important in this day and age, and that will make your blog and your brand more successful. useful.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with all of that. And I can be honest and say, when I look back, I really wasn't prioritizing sharing me in the content, much less things that are not related to my niche. But now I'm stepping out, okay, on a ledge or a limb of faith, and I will be sharing more things that I'm interested in, even though it has nothing to do with my niche. So I'll be sprinkling little bits in there so that they can get to know me and so that we can connect on something else. So they might come to me for this recommendation, but then they're like, oh, wait, she likes that too. You know, now we're locked in because I see myself doing that with other content creators. I might tune in to watch a review on a show and then they mention something on the side that either they eat and they love. And if someone says they drink matcha too, I'm like, yes, I am here with you. So those little hints are stuff I really plan to prioritize in 2026 to connect more with my community so that we can have multiple touch points and not just the niche that brought them to me in the first place. Another thing is responding to all the comments, responding to the DMs, replying back to emails. I often say to Francesca, okay, this morning when we log in for co-working, this morning is going to be a customer service morning. And she knows what that means. That means replying to comments, replying to emails, and just really connecting with people because it also provides insight into what future content I can create next. Now, with all of that in mind, we actually believe 2026 is the best time to start a blog. All right. And not to be shady, but I think it's the best time to start because a lot of bloggers are leaving. All right. I said it. I know you're thinking it, but a lot of those people out there who've been saying blogging is dead, I'm not doing this anymore, this doesn't make any sense, the ones who refuse to pivot, the ones who refuse to add social media, the ones who refuse to double down on the email list, listen, now is the time for you watching, to start because these people are leaving. So less competition, more opportunity. I really do feel people not wanting to adapt or because it's not as easy because you really have to work to connect with your community more than ever and really and truly build a brand. I think it's a turnoff for a lot of people, but if you want to clock in to co-working with us and do the work, it is the best time for you to start.
Another great reason to start right now and why it's going to blow up in 2026 is that there are smarter strategies available. There's lots of tools that will help you, especially when it comes to driving that direct traffic. There are so many more things available to you right now that I didn't have when I started blogging in 2011. So I think it's an exciting time. There's a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of opportunity as well to connect with your audience in a really, truly unique way, delivering to them exactly what it is that they're looking for without overwhelming them with stuff. I mean, think about it. Right now, it's so easy to edit videos like this one or audio on podcasts with tools like Descript. It's just text-based editing. When I was doing YouTube videos back in like 2013 and 2015, it was rough and it would take so long to do it. And now it's so easy. There's also tools like auto DMs, which are going to really help you to immediately send people and drive traffic. And I mean, not to be basic, but also Canva. Like back in the day, you had to learn to use Photoshop if you wanted to make graphics. And now Canva is there to make things really easy for you. That used to be really time consuming and it really required you to learn all these tools. And now you don't have to. There are tools that are going to make your life so much easier. And I mean, these are just some of them. You can set up automated workflows with your newsletter. You can invite people into a little mini course where they can just follow along and get things automatically delivered to their email. Like there are so many ways that you can build on your blog and your brand and your traffic that were just not available back in the day. So I think 2026 is only going to get better and it's really going to blow up. But there's also multiple traffic sources available. Like you don't have to depend on Google only. You have so many other places where you can go and build brand awareness and talk about your topic and share things about yourself. And you're going to be able to drive that traffic back to your blog.
And our last reason for why 2026 is the best time to get into blogging, although I have to say the reasons are numerous, but this one is especially big, is because people are going to be craving real, authentic human experiences more than ever. So on the contrary to people saying that AI is killing blogging, I actually believe that when social media and just all forms of media and content get oversaturated with AI content, we are going to get tired of it, we're going to get numb to it, and then we are going to want more than ever real, true, authentic human experiences. We want to hear what people are going through. We want to see how they do something, how they would approach it. We want to hear about their wins, but also their struggles and things that they're failing at right now. I actually think that if you have the knowledge and you are able to communicate it in your blog and then mass distribute it across numerous platforms, you are poised to win in blogging and just as a content creator in general, because you will stand out against the sea of AI content. So you will have a massive advantage to having a blog as your home base. And then you can share now that information from that blog post in a video format, kind of like we are doing here. You can then strip the audio and post that on a podcast. You can take quotes and post that on social media like Instagram and Facebook, even Pinterest. You can take behind the scenes photos and share them, especially when it comes to baking, because I love baking in my free time. I want to see someone's cake where the middle just completely sinks, so I know it's not just me. This happens in real life. You're never going to see that in an AI recipe. So if you haven't already, now is the time for you to revive your blog if you have an existing blog, or now is the time for you to plan and start your blog today, because 2026 is the best time to get in the game.
So if you're ready to get back in the game in 2026 and get into blogging, here's your 4-step checklist and your action plan for what you need to do. First, you're going to audit your traffic sources today. Second, you're going to start building your email list immediately. No, it doesn't matter that you only have one person coming to see you. Third, you're going to be diversifying beyond Google. So think Pinterest, YouTube, social. What are the platforms that you need to be looking at? And we do have a video on which platforms we are using in 2026. I will leave that link here. And 4, you need to actually be looking at your engagement metrics, not just page views. Because again, you want to be connecting with your community. And I know with all of that, and if you're ready to pivot, you will be successful in 2026 and master blogging.
Yes, if you do those 4 things, I promise you, you will be ahead of the 90% of bloggers who are out there complaining. But team, that's it for today's video about the brutal truth about blogging in 2026 and beyond. It's time for us to clock out of the doom and gloom and negative energy about whether blogging is alive and well. And instead, start implementing these strategies, start planning, start thinking about the kinds of content you can post where you can show up authentically as yourselves, and tune out the noise, because negativity is contagious. But before you go, let us know in the comments, are you planning to blog in 2026? Or are you deciding to throw in the towel? Let us know your position in the comments, because we'd love to hear from you. Now, if you haven't already, now's a great time to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can continue co-working with us. Because in our next video, we are sharing the dark truths behind content creation. So we're telling you everything all the gurus and experts aren't really sharing. And we will be sharing the things that will save you a lot of frustration, but most importantly, save you thousands of dollars. You don't want to miss it. So again, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And we're looking forward to co-working with you in the next video. Bye, everyone.